Chapter 48.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be reasonable. The last thing we need is another war. Science and philosophy. Ladies and gentlemen, is there really no other way to solve this crisis? Are you, the leaders of this world, out of your fucking mind?
Key's father, Cage, put extra emphasis and disbelief on the fucking part. He was standing on the podium of the World Peace Organization. The large hall echoed every word he said and translated it into every known language. The summit was held in a large, beautiful building built in the Judgin-style architecture style.
Leaders.
People of the world, do we really need to end the lives of innocent people in acts of violence? Can't we just end our own lives in an agreement? Let's all just swallow little black pills. Each and every one of us just takes a little neat pill and dies.
How about that? Or we could dress up in armor and use blunt weapons to smash each other's heads in a coliseum. I believe many of you would make great gladiators. Or we could just sit around a big bomb, holding hands and singing songs and watch it tick down and then boom. We all are dead. My point is, there are so many ways, so many things we could do before we send 100 billion people into certain death. The price of destruction will be extremely high, for the life we know with all the comforts we have will fade. We will literally destroy our civilization without a chance to ever recover. The times of a few blind commanding the dumb into certain death is over. Why is it that we are still so extremely primitive?
But no one wanted to hear it all. The politicians in control were sponsored by fearless people who wanted to protect their culture and economy, their technologies and way of life. They did not care for the unlucky subbreed and their existential problems. Endless hate separated them, and it was true. Some were way above mortals, gods among men, altruistic, angry gods who did not mind punishing and killing lesser egotistical creatures. The intelligent enjoyed their very own personal sunset. A famous philosopher a decade ago had published a paper in social psychology on how being an altruistic society with the capability and intelligence of such behavior was doomed by itself if it would allow selfish outsiders to infiltrate and rot the system away like corrupt parasites eating the fruits of paradise. Mr. Cage was aware of the published work and he understood the scientific truth and value of it. He believed that with more work, a lesser evil was possible, but the crowd wanted to see what was behind the Crimson Theater curtains.
So, what do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Do we kill ourselves? Ruin our peace and civilization as we know it? We certainly aren't great leaders if we cannot solve this problem in any other way but with violence. So, we might as well be the first ones to die. I have no doubt that we are absolutely replaceable. I think of you as cowards, ladies and gentlemen. Foolish cowards. And your weakness disgusts me. I can understand your greed and selfishness, your urge to protect what's yours. But I do not dare to doom this world and declare, "To hell with it!"
Mr. Cage cleared his throat.
Every 2 years, on the day we elect the leaders of the New World into the World Congress, the suicide rate spikes up 30%. People actually experience a depressive state just by imagining the future that is about to be unveiled. There hasn't been a single election without these numbers peaking. And it is mostly people who are interested in politics that become disappointed, depressed. Why? Because you cannot offer change. So let's change the world, dear leaders. Let's change it one more time and for the better. Improve it. Not purge it. Let's build a beautiful monument of peace to celebrate today. Let's celebrate that we did not start a global war. A place of water and marmor, and a little bit of gold too. We have the science to become a better civilization. We need to stay on the right track and keep discovering more about ourselves. We cannot afford destruction and degradation. People of the planet, ladies and gentlemen, leaders of the world, let there be peace.
Mr. Cage ended his speech. There was plenty of applause. He already expected people to be complimenting his speech just as much as he expected people to stick to their ideas and roll on with aggressive ideas in a possible war as if his speech had never happened. Words rarely change the world. Cage knew this. Mr. Cage walked down from the stage and sat down in his seat while the applause still rang loudly through the hall. Soon started to wane, just like Cage's speech from the leaders' minds.
Nice speech, but I don't think it will work. They will just keep pushing for what they have decided upon. These cowards will think you are a little bit nuts, a little unwell in the brain, for suggesting a mass suicide for world peace.
A fellow leader in the next seat smirked, blinking his shiny eyes. Mr. Cage remembered all the things he could have said but forgot about. He could have mentioned the size of the known universe and how tiny and irrelevant they were, and talked about all the things that were yet to come. Humanity was just a bunch of tomatoes soaking in their own juices, blind to the greatness of it all. Just a tiny bug stuck in a piece of amber. The next leader speaking after Mr. Cage filled everyone with rage and Mr. Cage with sadness. He plainly activated everyone's sympathetic nervous system, dragging the world into doom. People cheered as he promised acts of violence. Ah, the brute one. The intelligent man felt loneliness and a void deep inside his gentle soul. The world can't be undone. Their biology and simpleton brains were built that way. They are blind, they are deaf, and neither song nor play will change it. They cannot see themselves in the mirror, the people of the world. They cannot see themselves from the other side of the mirror. If only an alien life form would have searched for a tiny spaceship leaving a planet. Just by predicting a semi-intelligent life form with the capability of doing such a curious thing, they could have saved our kind, but would aliens really cross light years of the universe just to say don't?